What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today we have a huge Deepwoken content update all about Hallowtide Week 1, and first off I do want to say that this is the first week of Hallowtide, and I think not everything they'll be dropping has released today, so in the upcoming weeks we'll have more and more content to enjoy for Hallowtide, and get ready for that. First off, I think this is a legendary great update with so much to enjoy for basically everyone, and let's talk about Hallowtide Week 1. Hallowtide's floating keep can be accessed just like last year at the Isle of Vigils in the Etrian Luminance. So we have a special pumpkin NPC that can be talked to and simply teleports you inside of the keep, and in the Sky Island you'll see a couple new NPCs inside this keep, and some of them include the new Lightborn variants that Agamatsu was talking about, which I think is pretty cool. On the lower levels of the keep you can speak to Lysander Spellheart for everything cosmetic and resource based loot, and upstairs Glaive will sell you the keep's special weapons, so keep an eye out for that. To obtain Joy, the resource for these goodies, you'll have to have a Hallowtide mask. The resources are fine ink, shell stock, and paperette, but you can find these from any event around the Luminant. Return to Lysander with one of each material and he'll make you a mask. After this you can scare NPCs around the map with this mask on and obtain one joy for each scare. With this resource, Joy, we can of course obtain all the old loot, being all the Rogue Lineage helmets, which are pretty classic, being the Familiar Priest, Familiar Knight, and the Familiar Heretic's Helm, which are awesome just like last year. The Skull Piercer Rapier, the Hollow's Cleave Sword, and the Skyreap Blade Greatsword are also returning from last year if you want to cop them, and new stuff is also available, but I'll talk about that later. As you can see, the overworld of Deepwoken has received a massive seasonal shift where trees become dark and spooky alongside grass that also has much of the same Hallowtide coloring. Overall, there are some festive decorations around the map since the Luminant is celebrating just like us. Let's move on to the new weapons. The newest heavy weapon we have for Hallowtide is called the Putrid Eden Staff, and this weapon is so damn cool, and I guess you were right about that spellcasting type weapon from Wizard 101, but finally we have received a new Great Hammer, and this one is legendary. The Putrid Eden Staff resembles a polearm with a Dread Serpent Eden Kite skull and a glowing core in the center of its design, and even has lights. You swing this around and deal sizable damage, and don't worry, it's also enchantable. The light weapon for Hallowtide is also really crazy, and I'm absolutely loving it. So these are the Drake Maw gauntlets. Yes, it is Drake, and these are two demon skulls crudely wrapped around your fist, and it has some sort of glowing eye thing, and it's very cool. If you want, this weapon is very adaptable to different enchant stones, and you can change the color by enchanting it with different things. Right now, the Drake Maw gauntlets share the same fighting style critical that you have on. Finally, the new Hallowtide medium is of course the teased, promised Bloodtide Trident as shown in the Hallowtide teaser. The Bloodtide Trident is a dark red-black spear surrounded by a circular ring similar to that of Chaser's Blood Ritual. I think this weapon is very clean, and it will be matching well with red outfits and drip. The critical right now is the same as the Grimoire Long Spear, and it does bleed damage. The best part of the entire update can be obtained as a cosmetic, being the mushroom costume hat, and basically if you don't know what this is Scroom from Rogue Lineage, just deepified. Anyway, you can dye this almost any color and it turns your character's skin the same as the Scroom, meaning this works with any race, and if you're interested there's also a Metal Scroom variant too, and this is peak. Deepwoken is safe. If we do some exploration around the map, there is a new location inside of the floating keep. Following the portal inside will lead us somewhere new. Feel free to explore the inside of this shrine area because it seriously looks awesome, and there's an underground spot as well if you want to chill inside. Anyway, this is a new event, and interacting with the shrine will cause it to start. Initiate the Pump Skipper Gourd Skipper defense. All of your M1s will be replaced with the damaging Flame Pumpkin Blast, and it's kind of hard to aim. You have to hit the Pumpkin Mud Skippers to kill them and win the round, and if we survive we will get chests with Hallowtide weapons and the special Scroom hats. Be careful because one hit from the Pump Skipper will turn you into one, and you have to infect your friends if you want to obtain Joy as a Pump Skipper. If you actually beat all the waves, there is a special mantra that you can get by talking to Glaive afterward, and this is called Pumpkin Pitch. Basically what this does, it puts you into the pumpkin throwing state, replacing all your M1s with flaming pumpkins, and yeah, it's kind of fun. Outside of Hallowtide content, we also have some decent balance changes that I think are pretty good. Ice Skate, the Froststraw mobility mantra, no longer requires the Frozone talent to place ice and transport on non-liquid surfaces, and this is cool. With more accessibility, Ice Skate has also lost some of its base speed and descends a little bit quicker, but I think it's alright, and we'll see if players use Ice Skate more in combat. A new mantra has also been released for Ice called Rising Ice. This mantra has two separate attacks, one that brings into the air and the secondary hit which slams into the target and can be reacted against, and I see this being solid for quick combos, and it could synergize well with Crystal Mantra mantras, so we'll see how Froststraw users are enjoying this. On a smaller note, you will now be able to include commas, question marks, and even exclamation marks while modifying mantras, and that makes character builds a little bit more fun. More mantra customization is always something I want to see. To finish off this legendary weekly update, I present to you The Guy NPC, voiced by HorrorTM, and have a listen to this greatness.
Do you really think you matter to the guy? Give up. Go back home and never leave it. Don't ever look at me again.
And that's all for right now, so I'll be dropping videos and guides surrounding the entire Hallowtide event, so keep an eye out for that. Reminder that this is week 1, and they might be dropping new stuff on the second week, so as always, make sure to like and subscribe because we're almost at 65k. Thanks again, it's punchin' time.